Today we have salty analysis of sodium carbonate. So we assume that that is salty sample X, and we go directly on how to write a report for that analysis of sodium carbonate through systematic procedure of qualitative analysis. And our observation, our experiment, our inferences will consider our format of guided qualitative analysis sheet or qualitative guide. So we start with our lesson. Experiment. We start with the appearance of solid sample X. Our sample X is powder form. That is appearance in case of observation. And the inference you are supposed to write, in case of powder we have carbonate and hydrogen carbonate, and our appearance is white. So the white, there is ammonium, sodium, calcium, zinc, and lead. So you are supposed to join those sentences. It means the inference is the carbonate ion, hydrogen carbonate ion of ammonium, sodium, calcium, and the zinc and the lead may be present, and you have to record it in that system. In case of frame test, you are supposed to perform in that way. A backside, you can use a backside of test tube, or you can use a nechrome wire. So according to my test, I have been used a backside of test tube. A backside of test tube dipped in concentrated hydrochloric acid in watch glass and then heated on non-luminous flame. Observation is golden yellow flame observed, and the influence sodium ion may be present. Action of heat of sample X. A small amount of solid sample X transferred in the test tube in dry test tube and heated gently and then strongly until no further change occur. So observation on action of heat, no gas evolved, and not right, no gas evolves. Right, no gas evolved, and the influence carbonate ion of sodium may be present. And another observation on that action of heat, we observe white residue. So the influence show calcium ion, sodium ion may be present. The action of dilute hydrochloric acid on solid sample X. A small amount of solid sample X transferred in test tube, followed by 3 drops of dilute hydrochloric acid. That is the action, and that is you are supposed to write. The observation, we observe effervescence of colorless gas evolved and turned lime water milky moist litmus paper from blue to red. That is observation for action of dilute hydrochloric acid. The influence is carbonate ion, hydrogen carbonate ion may be present. Action of dilute, action of concentrated sulfuric acid on solid sample X. A small amount of sample X transferred in clean and dry test tube. A small amount of concentrated sulfuric acid added. So the observation, we observe there is effervescence. So you can see effervescence. That is the main observation of that test. And the colorless gas evolved and turned lime water milk and moist litmus paper changed from blue to red. The influence carbonate ion, hydrogen carbonate ion may be present. I think you see that is, and you have to record it in that way. Solubility of solid sample X. A small amount of solid sample X transferred in test tube and enough cold distilled water added to dissolve the solid sample. And the observation, when you dissolve in water, soluble, forming a colorless solution. So the carbonate of sodium is soluble, so it is soluble, forming a colorless solution. In the observation, there is sodium ion, ammonium, and nitrate may be present in that inferences. action of ammonia solution or ammonium hydroxide on sample solution X to a small volume of original sample solution X, ammonia solution added dropwise until in excess. That is formation or experiment on that action of ammonia solution. You are supposed to dissolve first your sample and then you add the ammonia solution. The observation no precipitate is formed and the influence, in fact, the calcium sodium may be present, and the flame test can use to confirm can be used in confirmatory test of sodium. So flame test you are going to use for confirmation of sodium as we performed there before confirmation. So a backside of test tube dipped in concentrated hydrochloric acid, then to the sample X in watch glass, followed by heating on a flame. The observation golden yellow. In that observation, in fact, there is a confirmation of sodium ion. And the confirmation of carbonate, we can confirm by using 3 reagents or steps. The first one, you transfer a small volume of original sample solution into a test tube. A few drops of magnesium sulfate solution added. You have to try it, experiment in passive voice. Observation: white precipitate is formed before warming the content, and that observation infer the presence or confirmation of carbonate ion. Another confirmation you can use barium chloride and followed by dilute hydrochloric acid. A small volume of original sample solution X transferred into a test tube. Barium chloride solution added, followed by dilute hydrochloric acid, and you have to record it in that way or in passive voice. Observation: white precipitate soluble in dilute hydrochloric acid is formed. It means before dilute hydrochloric acid the observation was white precipitate insoluble, but after adding hydrochloric acid the precipitate is going to dissolve or to be soluble, and that observation is directed to show us there is confirmation of carbonate. Another test or confirmatory test we can use nitric acid. A small amount of water in soluble solid sample transferred in test tube. Small volume of dilute nitric acid added. Effervescence of colorless gas evolved. That is observation, which turned lime to lime water milky. That is show confirmation of carbonate ion. I think you have understand that report and you see how it's written. You understand this lesson. The conclusion: the cation or cation is the sodium ion, the anion is sample X is carbonate, and the chemical formula is the sodium carbonate, and the chemical name is the sodium carbonate in words. That is our test or analysis of sodium carbonate compound. I think you have understand. For more questions, let's give us a comment, and remember to subscribe our channel for more, to know or to get a notification for the coming lesson. Thank you for learning with me.